Kristy, hello again.
Yes.
Hello again. Hey, let's look at pictures of your backyard.
Let's do it. And this is in no particular order.
What are we looking at here?
Okay, so this is the area of our yard that goes from a walkout basement, and there's a patio that's covered by a deck. And this is just the area of the yard that kind of goes from there out into the rest of the yard. I really wanted to add as much greenery as I can.
Yeah.
But we're in a completely different landscape than you are in Ithaca. And trees can be a little trickier sometimes in our space. And so I tried grapes. That was one of the first things that I planted because I thought that would be a nice way to add greenery. And I love it. I don't know. Do grapes grow very well in New York?
They do. Yeah, this is a good place for grapes. And, you know, by judging by both the grapes and the size of the grapevine coming up there, they look amazing there too.
The trickiest part about that is it is in a main traffic area, and some years we have grapes on the bottom, and some years we have toddlers that have a lot of fine motor experience.
That's right. That's good.
Just kind of depends.
Yeah. Well, I love that also, like an archway, or if just going up on the sides, that is like this transition zone that you're passing through this portal to get to the rest.
Yeah, it feels like a secret garden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you just want to go through that magical portal.
Yeah.
So then this is looking down.
Yeah, so that's from the deck above, and it kind of gives you an idea of one part of the yard. I explained in the last one, but our yard is an extremely odd shape. So it looks like it kind of goes back. That's not just forced perspective. It does kind of go back, and technically our property would go all the way back to a triangle at the bottom, but we did the fence so that it just kind of goes off right there where the gate is.
Okay.
So that grapevine is off to the left side of that picture and goes down to that path. And then there's another set of stairs that go down to the lowest tier of our yard. And you can see our huge, incredible sandbox there. And then the whole sand level that I was talking about.
Right.
And we've added things like we kind of talked about this a little bit in the last podcast, but we've done this in stages. So when we first put that in, it was just the sandbox. And then we decided we wanted to add some pathways. Actually, last year we expanded that even more so that it goes now, those paver stones go under that rain barrel. Laying in the water, it's a little easier to transport and not just become a mud hole for the toddlers.
Okay, that's nice. And then are those Jerusalem artichokes there? Those sunflowery looking things? Are they sunflowers?
They're just sunflowers. We get natural sunflowers. And this year actually was my favorite because they just come up. Yeah. And I let them grow there in those rocks, and it kind of created that sunflower house.
So cool.
Yeah, and the kids could just lay under it and play on it. It was quite magical.
Yeah, that's very fun. And then here you are with additions to the sand pit.
Yeah. So this was actually really early on, and there's a fun story with those sticks. So I wanted to do a set of tree blocks, and I heard that willow trees were good for that. So we helped a neighbor trim some willow trees. And I started stripping them off, and I was going to, cut them up into all the fun, fancy little shapes. And once I got them stripped off, I was like, I can't cut these up. These are cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
And so we just put them out there, and the kids use them for all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, an assortment of logs and stumps, always.
Yeah, yes.
This is another shot of the sandbox. This demonstrates a way that I use materials. If we're trimming plants or we have a lot of herbs, different things, I'll just offer them to the kids for their creations or for their soups. This might have been, those look like maybe tree branches. That might have been pruning the fruit trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Just add whatever into the play. And sometimes they love it and sometimes they don't, and that's okay.
Oh, right. That's right. Okay, here's more of whatever.
Yeah, this was just sort of a, play leftovers. But I did want to point out the doll because for a long time, I was very particular about what toys went outside and that there were particular toys inside. I still kind of am.
Okay.
However, I remember I had a teacher specifically that, she kind of pushed me on this. Like, why can't the babies go outside? Why can't the dolls go outside? And I was like, well, because, I'm not going to send my $50 Lakeshore babies outside to get ruined. And, but then I realized, I was like, I literally have like 24 baby dolls in the storage room. And so I just put some of like my older baby dolls outside
Yes.
and
Yes.
they loved them. They haul those things all over. And when we start running low on the baby dolls, we just go to the thrift store and buy more for like
That's right.
two of
That's
them.
right. You buy your outdoor, yeah, your
Yeah,
outdoor baby dolls.
great. So
Very nice. Very good.
another example of the sandbox, those are the Outlast blocks
Yep.
from Community Playthings. They are so fun, and the kids
Yeah.
just do all sorts of things with them. I didn't include this picture, I should have, but I have a really cool picture from one time. So we use milk crates. You can kind of see that one off to the side. We
Oh
use
yeah.
that to store everything outside. And one time I came out, they were outside with another teacher, and they had literally dumped every single milk crate out. But then they had made this really cool structure in the middle of the sandbox that included the milk crates and also these blocks and probably some other materials. And it was at that point that I started asking people for milk crate donations because apparently I needed milk crates for storage as well as for building and loose
Yes.
parts.
That's right. That's
So
right. Yeah, love it.
I included this one because this is kind of where we started.
Oh, right.
This was
That's
not, yeah, it wasn't the very beginning, but because when we first moved in, we didn't even have that second level terraced.
okay.
But this is kind of where we were for the first year or two before we could afford to get the cement work done. We put in that swing set, so we had something, and we had terraced it because we knew we needed to do that with the heavy equipment. And then we spent a lot of time digging in dirt, and also there were weeds out there, and it was not nearly as, aesthetically pleasing as it is now. But
At the same time, it's totally amazing, right?
yeah,
It looks like the
yeah,
desert. It looks like
yeah,
desert play right there.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so then you're just adding to it little by little, piece by
Yeah.
piece. A boat.
Yeah, and well, so this is something that I think is valuable for providers to know. I had seen a sandbox on somebody's playground somewhere, and I just put it out there on Facebook one day that I was looking for an old broken down boat, and my aunt had one and
Huh.
offered for me to come get it, and we have used that so much. That's one of those things that sometimes it's out, sometimes it's not, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but yeah, it's really interesting and fun. And the
Looks
pirate
like,
flag, of course.
yeah. No, it's like the perfect sandbox boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
More
Get,
dirt and mud and water. It's just,
getting into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that we do is every time we go through our kitchen cupboards and decide we don't need something anymore, we just throw that, literally chuck it off of the back deck and
Into
throw
the
it
sand.
straight into the sandbox. So you can see we've got the whisk there,
I know. Look
and
at that whisk.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. I'm all about recycling and reusing and repurposing items.
Yeah. So cool. And then jumping in. So there it is where maybe
Yeah.
that was after a rain. Things do look
Yeah.
like
Yeah. So we get these monsoons and it fills that up. It's just a couple of inches and it does not last for long. I also made sure to check my licensing
yeah.
rules. I did not think to do that until after I got some comments on social media about that. But in Utah, you're not going to get cited if you're supervising it and it's a particular activity and if it's a result of weather. So,
Ah.
yeah, so we're totally okay with licensing. And of course, a teacher is always right there so that we make sure we're safe. But
So you can have, what do they call it? Not a pool of water, but just some standing water or just water?
so if it's in something, like if we have like these big red tops, like, you know, we would have to dump those out. Like they can't just be sitting and standing around
Yeah.
unless we're there. Like if they're purposely filling them up and playing with them and somebody is right, they're supervising and it's part of a particular activity, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So we still have to go around and dump things out,
Sure.
but you know, like if there's like a shallow area in the yard that has water in it from rain or sprinklers, that's
Hmm.
actually okay in Utah.
That's amazing.
So
Or a sand pit that just happens to
yeah,
have
but it just happens
rainwater.
to fill
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just nobody knows how it fills up, but it does.
no.
I love it. That's very fun.
This is just, I love these moments. We get these every once in a while. I mean, a lot of our play outside is big and loud and fun, but I've also like seen a lot of these moments where kids just, you know, will sit in the shade of the tree or we have a picnic bench outside and these moments to kind of just like ground and connect and be quieter and just like not all outside play is big and loud and messy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like this example of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to have spaces for it all.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
This one, so a couple of things. This is that flagstone patio that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't really see it, but behind that one kiddo's feet is where there's a pipe that comes out, and we actually have control over that. So that one
Oh, fun.
it does also come off of the roof from the rain gutter, but because it's not like there's nothing to fill up, it just kind of like trickles down.
Yeah.
But we can also have it, there's another way that we can turn it on and just turn it on to a trickle and have, you know, let the kids splash and play. And it's just a nice way to cool down. Another thing in this picture is we have kind of tried to take these spaces randomly throughout the yard. There's just a little flower bed on the top of that to plant things and to plant things that like this is chamomile.
Right.
I
Yeah.
learned
Okay. That's what I thought
last
that
year.
was. Yeah.
If you plant chamomile once, you're probably going to have it forever and everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's amazing because you know the kids can pick the flowers and play in it and use them for whatever they want, and it's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It smells good. Relaxing. You can nibble
Yeah,
on it. Yeah.
yeah.
Love it.
We love to do art outside. This one was actually people have learned, right? Like when they know that you put out the calls, they learn to call you. My brother called or texted me one day and he's like, I have like these 3 big cardboard barrels. Do you want them? And I was like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do
he
you even
knows.
need to ask?
That's right.
And the kids spent weeks actually just adding to this. And then at some point, we took the lids off and they played inside them. And it was a grand time until it was destroyed. And then we moved on.
That's right. That's right.
Have you ever heard of that book? It's Christina Katerina and the Box.
Oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite books growing up.
I
sure
know.
have. Yeah.
I know. So it's kind of like that,
Love it.
right? We use it
Oh.
for one thing and then we move on and use it for something else. And eventually it's completely destroyed and you throw it away and
That's
start
right.
something else.
That's right. You have to rake it off the lawn and
Yeah.
clean it up. Yeah, I love that book.
This is the dry creek bed that goes along.
Oh, yeah.
So the waterfall on that patio comes off and then it'll just kind of slowly fill that up. But also has the wild sunflowers that just grow. And I love those because one thing that I found helps manage my anxiety is if I want to maybe leave the buds on the fruit trees alone or the grapes alone, but we have sunflowers and I will pick as many sunflowers as they want and they can use as many of those as they want. So finding some way to say yes instead of everything, you know, just being fussy about everything.
That's right. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can have fruit develop, grapes and apples or whatever.
Yeah.
And then put as many sunflowers as possible. Clip
Yes.
and cut and use for whatever.
Yeah.
And there they are helping themselves.
Yeah, this is out in our garden area.
Okay.
So we tried strawberries. And this is the other thing too. You have to remember, not everything's going to work. I tried strawberries in those containers
Okay. Yeah.
back there. We are too dry for strawberries in small containers here in Utah. But this is also in our garden area. And so we go out there and pick the tomatoes and whatever else. And the kids' favorite thing really is to is to load up their own water cans and help with that chore.
Yeah, it's fun.
Another shot in the garden. So we have a taller garden box and then the shorter garden box. And usually I try to plant doubles in the shorter one so that, if it gets destroyed or overpicked, that we still have things in the big garden box that we want. I think you can see it. He is looking at the lizard there on the wall.
Oh.
Up above.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
We get lizards in our yard, and it's fun.
Oh, that's amazing. The lizard's like the exact color of the wall.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
This is another area of the garden, and we decided to try the Pinterest inspired garden tunnel.
Oh, okay.
I love it. It feels like the most magical thing, but it's so fun. And we go under there and the kids are always looking at what's growing and what we can find under there.
Yeah, that's so neat. And I mean, just that picture alone of like how many different materials and textures and surfaces, and then to have another magical,
And then you can see there the milk crates. So So we do have this area gated off, and we have that taller garden box, but it's not to really so the kids can't have access to it. It's just to put a few other things in place so that we can help manage access in a way that, we can take care of the garden, but also give those kids those experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's nice to have both. Like, okay, there's some gardens you can get into and, whatever, pick the green stuff. And then others, like, we're going to.
And I think that's a good lesson for kids to learn, too. That, there might be, different ways that we approach different areas. So.
Yeah.
More garden stuff, we'll bring baskets out and they'll help. Oh, you know what? I forgot about this one. Okay, so we planted bok choy, and I was gone for a week, and we came back and it had kind of bolted and flowered, and those are those little yellow flowers. But we looked it up and realized that they're edible, and so that was one of the kids' favorite little treats. They tasted like broccoli, and so I would have one of my little 18-month-old kids out there asking for broccoli flowers, if he could eat broccoli flowers.
So there you go.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. All right, fun. All right. Well, thanks, Kristy.
Thanks, Rusty. It was so fun to chat.
Yeah, great to chat with you too. So inspired by what you're up to, and glad that you're inspiring other people out there too. And
thank you. And I'm so grateful for the work that you and others have done as well, because that's the only way we keep growing together, right? Is keep contributing what we can.
Yep. All right. Well, let's keep doing it.
All right.
Thanks, Rusty. Yep. See ya.
See you later.
Bye.